Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Miraculous Ladybug, the new Powerpuff Girls, and Star Wars, The Force of Evil. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hello.
Today, Delaney and I will be discussing the latest two episodes of the new Cartoon Network Powerpuff Girls reboot, Odd Bubbles Out, and Presidential Punchout. The show is back after a few month-long break during the summer, and we have been covering it every other week here on the Overly Animated Podcast. You can check us out at overlyanimated.com or search for the Overly Animated Podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. We cover the show basically every other new episode. So Odd Bubbles Out was last week. This week we're recording the night of the 8th about the Odd Bubbles Out and Presidential Punch-Out. So you get coverage from us every other episode-ish, but that gets complicated because we have a bomb week coming up, so we'll discuss that at the end, how that's going to work.
Lord.
Yeah, we'll plan on air.
Plan on air.
Yes, that's going to be fun. I don't know why they need to do that, but, so if you're new to our coverage, welcome. I'll say this again at the end, but we don't get our highest numbers for the Powerpuff Girls coverage, so please express your like for our coverage if you're listening in any sort of comment section. But Delaney and I very much enjoy this show. If you've heard negative things, we won't echo that probably. I mean, we're not going to be effusive every episode, but we generally enjoy this reboot, and sometimes we're joined by Michelle. Just Delaney and I this time to talk Odd Bubbles Out, Presidential Punch-Out. So Delaney, this is our first new PPG since the end of June. What were your feelings as you watched the show again for the first time in a few months?
Well, it was just, I missed it so much. It was just quality. Odd Bubbles Out is just like a gym. I just watched, I just watched that one.
Yeah, okay.
You
watched them reversed? Okay.
Yes, because I watched the other one live, and then I watched this one just a few minutes ago.
Okay.
So good.
So you really like that one? What about Presidential Punch-Out?
I did like Presidential Punch-Out. It was funny at times. I guess it just looks, it's not as great just in comparison to Odd Bubbles Out. I really enjoyed Presidential Punch-Out. And of course it has Morbucks in it, and Princess Morbucks is always a treasure to have. It was kind of an odd episode. I mean, Blossom being ridiculous is always good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't like it as much as I liked Odd Bubbles Out.
Both of these are pretty archetypal new Powerpuff Girls character, character exploration, events of real life. Maybe infuse a little bit of villain stuff, but mostly no. I guess Odd Bubbles Out was closer to an old PPG episode at the end, but it was still very much new PPG. So I don't know. We've been tracking, are they on the right track, wrong track? I feel like these episodes are both right track in terms of playing to the show's strengths. Yeah. So Odd Bubbles Out. This episode is...
I loved it.
Okay. So it's got a lot going for it. It's narratively super solid.
Was it the robot girl? Is that when you were like, nope, can't do it anymore?
No, that's a great positive. Come on. That's there's a lot going for it. It's a great recurring gag, some of the best of the season, an incredible narrative structure, maybe the show's best narrative episode. It's just such a miscalculation in concept relative to reaction to the show. It's obvious that this episode was written a long time ago, many months before the show premiered, because this features the return of Donnie, which if they knew that there's going to be controversy with Donnie, then they would obviously not have brought him back.
Right.
Such a stupid idea. This episode is so great, but why is it focused on Donnie? I don't care about Donnie. That's the main thing. One, they had this whole thing with Donnie, which we didn't even in that episode. We had no idea that was a thing when we covered that original episode. Right. And since then, the writers said that they didn't even intend anything involving gender identity for that original episode, which is how we interpreted it. So, I still think there's no intent to have any gender parallels with Donnie. But still, that first episode was not necessarily good because of Donnie, and Donnie's much worse in this episode. Donnie does nothing interesting, I feel like.
No, he's just there. It's just, Bubbles is the role.
Bubbles is
treasure.
Incredible. The robot girl's incredible.
The robot girl is just
and Buttercup, I feel steals the show too.
Buttercup, oh my god, Buttercup was so genuine in this episode, and I was like, Buttercup, you've grown up so much, my child.
Yeah. So I just feel like it's so weird because this might be the best narrative episode of the show. It's just concept is really bad. Like bringing Donnie back is just not a good idea. So the show we're not far enough in where they've had time to react to one fan reaction, but not even that, because the shows don't so much react that as much as but like more just like reflect on what they've done. Like they're still just out of the gate on this, and they haven't been able to like find strengths and weaknesses. They've already mostly adjusted to the fact that this should not be old Powerpuff Girls. Like it's been a while since we've had an episode like that, so I guess Bubbles the Operate. I'm looking at the episode guide. These are a long time ago now, though. But so they're mostly on the right track. Just bringing Donnie back was a miscalculation, but other than that, yeah, this episode had a lot going for it. Yeah, Presidential Punchout was worse, but it was still pretty solid. It was pretty typical. I mean, I guess like. We went weird places with like the wrestling stuff at the end, and we brought in the weird country wrestling girl announcer, which was the weirdest
I don't even
thing.
like. Yeah. It was really great, but it was also like, what am I watching?
Yeah, they definitely got into what am I watching territory at the end. It was weird because they went like so weird places, yet it was the obvious archetypal, the nice candidate is going to end up winning type thing. Like it's so predictable in terms of that, but yet they had like the random announcer. Like I don't know. This President's Punch-Out was weird. Overall, I would say that neither of these episodes are going to make my best of. At the end of the year, I mean, again, Odd Bubbles Out is notable for its certain things, but I feel like Donnie soured it enough for me that it's not getting there. But I'm still happy to have the show back. I mean, it's still very appealing to me.
We missed it.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if we're going to continue. Even if we stopped covering the show, which is on the table, I would still watch it. Like, I'd still watch. Not like I'd still watch it. I'd also like think about watching it like Thursday nights. Like I don't watch many shows like the night they air with work and stuff, but this is like that would be on the table. I look forward to it. It's a breath of fresh air with regards to other things I watch, and it's just very all the stuff we've talked about before with it. But let's get into the specific episodes. We can do Odd Bubbles Out first. So I feel like the highlights are the Buttercup's recurring use of magic unicorn magic, which is one of the best examples of recurring gag in kind of animation recently. First of all, this show does this every episode. They try to get a recurring thing going, like every single episode, and multiple things per episode. They had the spoon this episode. That was the other standout. That's another thing they tried to get going. The spoon was less successful, but was used to great effect at the end. The Magicorn, the magic unicorn magic. There you go, Magicorn. Joke I think was like, I was like, it was okay at the beginning, and then it just really gets good. Like I think they handled it really well, and just such a great use of that. Like I feel like it's almost narratively perfect, everything that happens here with this.
It's just so funny, and like it just kept going and going, and like bus tickets, yeah. Like it was just so good.
Yeah, the highlights, like this joke had its own.
It had an arc. Like
it had its own narrative arc, like the exposition, like the rising action. The climax was the death ray. That's a good use of unicorn magic. I mean, kind of cliche, but it works. That was great. It related to the plot. And then like we had a falling action joke with the bus tickets at the end. Like that was the real. I forget what the term for this narrative thing is called. That's the real narrative arc in this episode. Is that joke?
No, def. Like that's like this is what stole the episode was Buttercup and just yelling about unicorn magic.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I think the spoon was also really good. The spoon was a more typical one where it's funny at first, so they bring it back. Like Bubbles, like a commemorative spoon. That's like every kid. That's what every kid wants. Like that was good. But then they use it to reflect at the end. The death ray and
like, the spoon also had an arc.
Yeah, which is great.
Spoon got bent.
This is
and then
like the spoon coming back to solve the plot in like the climax in like 2 seconds is the most new Powerpuff Girls type like thing that could possibly happen. Like that's
Yes.
and that's why it's great. Like who cares about the plot stuff happening? We can resolve it with this like stupid recurring spoon gag, commemorative spoon. Like what is that? What is even that? It's yeah. So I really I really like the use of that, and I like how they're not afraid to like deflate the plot tension with creative uses like that. Yeah, I thought that was good. I mean, I think most of all those was a Bubbles episode for sure.
Yes. She's always flawless.
Yeah, typical Bubbles for most things here. We've definitely found our stride with Bubbles are what we're going for here. By the way, this will apply to 2 listeners, but I've determined that Bubbles is 100% Brit. By the way,
I thought we already figured that out.
We might have said this already, but like,
I'm pretty sure we already knew that.
Like literally, she's just Brit.
We like literally already knew that. Like,
yeah, I guess we
not shocked.
Like it's yeah. So it's I don't even remember what even happens. I mean the use of the robot girl is like that was.
I think like another standout joke though was like there's only one person we know who lives in a volcano. Like that was like I think
Volcano Steve, yeah, that was.
Yeah, no, I think like that. Well, even without the Volcano Steve thing, like one that is like so like again like we've seen Mojo Jojo before, but like just the throwback to Powerpuff Girls was excellent. Like the original, like duh, he's the only one in the volcano, hilarious. And we haven't really we've been in his lair once, I think. Like so far in the new show, maybe twice. Well, now it's twice. Like
crossover.
Right.
God. Yeah, I think that was.
Oh God.
Remember that? That was wild.
Oh man. But that was it's so good. We literally only know one person who lives in a volcano. Like that was just I had to pause. I was so amused. Just excellent stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the Volcano Steve part, and then
that is a good. I mean, like
who lives in one person, Volcano Steve, and then no, not Volcano Steve. Like Blossom's reaction to that.
Volcano Steve. Like.
Yeah, that was really good too. I didn't know that we were going to highlight that joke so much, but yeah, I did really like that. But yeah, great Bubble stuff all along here. I'm a little over Bubbles' illogical emotional reactions. That's her entire character, I know, but. I feel like we can do other things with her than have her go over the top emotion.
Oh, we've done other stuff with her, like.
Yeah, we have with the show.
But we've really fleshed out. That's what the draw of the show is. It's like we've taken these characters and really fleshed them out and like made them they act like actual young girls, and it's great.
Yeah, no, you're right. So that's one of my main points with Bubble is that this is a genuine reaction. The thing with Bubbles is it's a little confusing because she's obviously smart, but yet she like gets lost in these types of things, which is completely realistic. Maybe we're hitting it too much. I don't know, but it is yeah. Bubbles. Then again. It's not like Bubbles was missing something obvious. It was Robot Girl.
So literally no one knew. Like it's not her fault.
Yeah, like they didn't build up to that at all. That was just I don't know. It came out of nowhere.
When it started, and I was like, oh God.
I liked how they executed.
No, it was great. No, it was like, and then like the theme song. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like it was so good.
Both episodes a little bit Moonbeam City.
Yeah, I was like. I was kind of feeling a little like Moonbeam City, like, and then like honestly, some of the jokes were like kind of Rick and Morty, and that like bringing them like constant like, oh, we're gonna talk about this for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. It's Moonbeam City, and that show went like over the top so much at the end, and it keeps getting more and more ridiculous in ways that it's like impossible to predict narratively. I feel like the use of the Robot Girls like that, and especially the wrestling stuff at the end of Presidential.
Like it was like what?
It seems super Moonbeam City, yeah. Which is the good thing. I mean, we like that show, so
Moonbeam City.
Yeah. So yeah, good Bubble stuff here. I don't even know what else. What else even? Oh, we got the return of the unicorn plot elements too. So that's another thing. So we had
unicorn exchange program.
Oh yeah, that was I should have meant I'm gonna make that the screenshot of.
Good.
That's where that's where Big Joy went. That's that was
You all are all right.
You guys are all right. Yeah, that whole thing was great. That was really good.
Amazing.
We had the recording of the Unicorn Alliance something brigade, something like
I can't even.
That was one of the better parts of that episode. So
I just really enjoyed it was like my boyfriend, and it's like, oh, okay, we got some interesting family dynamics going on. In the
Axel, yeah, yeah, I did like that. You're right.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, the show isn't. This is the first step in the show being my girlfriend, right? Like that's
right,
the next step. First, we have to break the mold, and then we're gonna get there.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
Yeah, it'll happen. Yeah, the the robot. The other thing, the robot girl at the end of the attacks. Like just the execution. Like it's a stupid concept. Like it's really stupid, but it's just really well executed. You have to go full throttle into it if you're gonna do that stupid twist with her being a robot. But it's good.
They did. I mean, they like maxed it out. It was amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was good. So yeah, everything here is great, but also of note, nothing we mentioned relates to Donnie. So that's the thing. That's the thing. I feel like he didn't do anything.
No, he was just there, and like honestly, he's fine in like this episode. It's just like from like the original introduction of Donnie.
I remember him being better in that first episode. Like I think he was fine. So I don't know, but here, yeah, no value. No value. He was
just he's just there. He was just there to move it along. He didn't actually participate.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Presidential Punchout. So I guess it's similar in that it goes over the top at the end as a pretty typical narrative. I feel like it's not as creative of a narrative. I think that and in this show the creative narrative is kind of the typical narrative, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't want to be that. This is more of a tropey narrative with the third party candidate and stuff like that, and like you goat the nice main character and having a dirty campaign. Like this is like a pretty archetypal episode. Not that that's a bad thing. I think that this episode doesn't necessarily hit as hard as well because once again, Morbucks I feel like is one of the weaker recurring characters on the show.
I mean, I guess that's probably I don't know.
Like I think give me Mojo in.
That's fair.
Odd Bubbles out way over Morbucks in this.
That's fair. Morbucks just isn't like we haven't done anything fun with her. It's just that's the like Mojo Jojo's fun because like Mojo Jojo is the super genius monkey who's ridiculous and like robs places for his mom, and then we have Morbucks who's just rude and just buys things. Like
the problem is Morbucks isn't really funny or fun. I don't know.
She's just.
I feel like Morbucks. I mean, I don't remember the original that well. I feel like Morbucks is probably just the original character.
No, she's not really any different. Like she's just the same, and it's just not. She's not really updated.
Great because they made him so much more like fun and like he's a little bit. Mojo's always a Mojo, you know, but he's more of this show. I feel like you need to update Morbucks and fit her in better.
Well, they need to do something with like an actual kind of thing where like maybe they kind of become friends in this weird like scenario or something. Because it's just Morbucks is always just like the rich, rival, and it's fine, but it's not. It just doesn't mesh well with what the new Powerpuff Girls is doing. Like it just doesn't mesh. It's just like, what are you doing? Why is she here? Mojo Jojo is just being ridiculous all the time, but the show's ridiculous. But then you have Morbucks, and it's just like, oh, you made weird campaign videos. Okay.
Yeah, I actually think the campaign videos were the highlight of the episode.
Well, I mean, they were. Yeah. They were hilarious.
Yeah. So that's
the bat gag.
So okay, let's go over them. So my number one is the campaign videos. Okay. Broader picture. I think Presidential Punchout does one thing really well that I've highlighted that the show does. I think this episode really captures like actual children. More so than other episodes. I just the thing that stands out to me really well is the Infinity +1 usage.
That was so good.
That's like total kid thing. Like, and they integrate stuff like that. And just play it straight because like these are children. Like that's one of my favorite aspects of the show. It's like realistic portrayals. Like I feel like this episode really does it. I mean, yeah, on one hand you have Buttercup or Blossom like in a pantsuit, like with like the ridiculousness of the actions, but it's the behavior I feel like is the important thing. Yeah, so the that's the one thing. The biggest gag for me was the campaign videos, which this is a pretty typical archetypal tropey thing, but the show puts its distinctive tone onto it with like the playful ridiculousness of them, which is great. The first one's good, and then the second one, they don't even they just bring in the announcer and have him do something. They don't even it's like they didn't even slice Blossom's lines. You bring in just the male voice. It's even better. So I feel like those were really successful. And oh yeah, what was the first one? What'd she say? Like duty, yeah. Like, and they make that into it. That's so great that they make that into like the bad thing that she's saying. You all are duty or something, because it's so like innocent and playful, and I really. Well,
it's just so funny because like, and also like the kids, like when they do like the new video, like they all like, haha, and like they don't really care. They're just like laughing at the video, like even when it's more bucks, they're like Blossom. Like it's just so funny and stupid. That's true.
Usually usually they see the video and they're like all rooting for the villain at that point. But yeah, they didn't go down that route too much.
It was I mean it was just funny. Like everyone was just enjoying. And then even Buttercup was like, it's pretty good. Like
yeah, they were that.
And then Bubbles. Down with Blossom.
Yeah, we had the one the trying to convince Bubbles. You can pet my tiger. I like that. Yeah,
you can pet my tiger. That was so good.
By the way, Morbucks had a white tiger.
Yeah,
that was Dylan's childhood favorite animal. So approval for that. That's I feel like that's a typical kid thing. It's like white tiger favorite animal.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that made sense. So talk about the bat gag. You were a fan?
Oh no, it was hilarious. Like one, they keep calling it the cafetorium, and like that's just ridiculous. But then it's really funny because like we had a cafetorium in like my like 5-6 center thing, and it's so funny. They just keep calling it that, and then just oh yeah, the bats, and then they keep coming back, and it's the same kid. Like the same kid keeps getting terrorized by the bats.
I didn't notice that.
And then later it was like, oh well, the bats took over. Like they explained why they weren't in the cafeteria because the bats took over. Like and they like flashed to the cafeteria with the bats. Like they just kept going with it. It was great. Like
the best part was them using that as an excuse to be in the dumb wrestling.
I know.
Arena. Yeah, that was the best part. Yeah.
Like yes.
Okay, so I do love the cafetorium thing. Like it's good. I think the bats were were low key successful. I didn't think they were like
well they weren't like stand out or anything.
Yeah,
but I enjoyed them.
Yeah, and I like Blossom, Protractor Initiative, and also get rid of the bats in the cafetorium. Yeah, that's
the good. Protractor Initiative. Yeah. When it came back, I was like, oh my god, it's real.
Are you a fan of the Protractors, Delaney?
I mean, I hate Protractors, like in actuality.
Why do you hate Protractors?
Because they're terrible.
Why?
Because I have like 8th grade geometry like problems, okay, and that's the reason.
I also did, so I feel you.
Like yeah. I have flashbacks. They're not okay.
I feel that.
But it was just like when they brought it. I wasn't anticipating like to bring it back, and it was so good. Like he's just carrying protractors, and then he makes that awful pun and walks away. Like oh my god.
Thoughts on Matt Nancer?
He's great. He's just a sweetheart. Like the whole time I was rooting for him because I knew he was gonna win.
Obviously, yes.
I was for a little bit. I was like, is he gonna do something like horrible to Blossom? And then I was like, no, he's just good. He's just a good person.
I guess
when they like, and when they did like the like, surprise third cannon, I was like, okay, more bucks. Here she is.
Yeah. I guess the twist, everything with him was so typical. I guess him giving a speech was a little bit like it didn't just fall to him, like he actually did something.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I love that he brought his own podium. Like that was the best. He's like, oh, I didn't know you were supposed to prepare anything.
Yeah.
I'm probably on podium. Like that was the best. Like he had some pretty good lines where it was like, he said something, and it was like while they were fighting, it was like, he would just keep talking.
Yeah, he was like, you guys bring up good points, but I
ain't on this. Good.
Yeah, it was good.
What?
I feel like your favorite Matt Nancer gag should be the handshake in the beginning.
No, it was. Like, no, I've been waiting. I was waiting for you to be like, so that is my favorite because it's not quite the level of the X-ray. The X-ray is still the best gag in this entire show, but that one was pretty good when they shook hands and it was just like her arm. Like
Delaney's favorite recurring gag is the making fun of the fact that the Powerpuff Girls' bodies, like our character design, is ridiculous and that they don't have fingers and stuff. And
my favorites.
The handshake is specifically for that purpose. Yeah, it is good.
So good.
Yeah.
You know what happened? Oh yes, it's in this episode.
It is good. What else we got here? We got the you're in the lead. I polled all the candidates. You're in the lead, and Terry has dice. And
pulled all the kids in dodgeball.
Oh, that's what she said. Okay.
All the kids in dodgeball, and then Terry has lice.
Yeah, that's good. Both of those things are good to know. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah. What else we got? Actual Mud, Buttercup has.
That's probably my number 3 fave gag was like the actual mud.
Bubbles, you know what the golden rule says. If someone is mean to you, you get to be doubly mean back. That's great.
That's not what it means.
That's a solid Bubbles line. I feel like that's a top 10 Bubbles line. Yeah.
And then the way like Blossom's line is delivered is like perfect.
Yeah.
Like not at all. It's so good.
Yeah.
And then Blossom wore a pantsuit, which is like Delaney's favorite thing is like pantsuits.
Yeah.
So that was excellent.
How dare? I guess Morbuck's one good line. How dare they? I would never let anyone live rent free.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Everything in the wrestling arena.
Just everything.
Intros. Buttercup with like the Mexican wrestling mask. Yeah.
No, good. I was just like, yes, Buttercup would be a luchador. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and then everything at the end. Okay.
It just became WWE. Like, I had like vicious flashbacks to when my brother watched it, and I was like, oh god.
Yeah. Interesting. Furthering the mythology of Delaney's brother. Okay. So yeah, overall, I think both were good episodes. Good, right track for the show. Most importantly.
I mean, these are definitely, we're coming back from, hiatus, and it's like, I think it's pretty solid. These are, we've had some, like episodes where like, these were good episodes, and they were entertaining and funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's good. Like the show's good. The Creative Arts Emmys this weekend, I think. We'll see if I forgot. I should have said this at the beginning. The Emmy nominated new Powerpuff Girls can take home the win.
Yes.
The best troll nomination. Like I love it. I love it. Yeah, like
so good.
I can't believe they did. Okay.
There are people screaming somewhere. Like
it was great. Next week is Cheap Thrills, CHEEP, and then the 19th to the 23rd is a new episode every day as of now.
Oh god.
So okay, two things. One, this is definitely our lowest rated show we cover, so please comment if you watch, because there's an argument to be made for us. It's not worth it, but comment, let us know if you're a fan of our coverage, and we'll consider. I'm trying to reevaluate a bunch of stuff with this. So I don't know what we're going to do with this, Delaney. We could do it in chunks of 3s and do 2 podcasts over the next 6. So that would mean we did a Tuesday and a Friday. But
yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. I'll think about that. I don't like not podcasting on Thursday. But
we picked Thursday, but the problem is like now Delaney's back at school and Thursday is like garbage day.
It could change because SU might not. If SU stops airing, then the reason to podcast Thursday stops. So, except for this show too, but the show's weekly until and then the 29th that's scheduled. So the week. Okay, so we'll figure it out. We'll be back maybe sometime during that week of the 19th. And let us know if you like our coverage and let us know what you thought of these 2 episodes.
Do you want us to keep covering it? Like, y'all gotta let us know.
I mean, if people had the answer no, they wouldn't be listening to right now.
True. So I don't know. Sometimes people are like, oh, what's this? You never know.
I guess.
I don't know.
No. So anyway, looking forward to the future trip. There's one of the 5 from that week is already online. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's episode 26. Yep. Yeah. I haven't watched it yet. I got really confused. Because I watch all these episodes on Cartoon Network's website, and I'm like, what? Why is this here?
Cartoon Network just randomly puts episodes on.
They did it like the first week the show was on, too, and I was like, why are you doing this?
Oh, wait, there's some, how about this title? The Secret Life of Blossom Powerpuff.
Oh, man.
When Blossom can't join her favorite school club, she imagines what her superhero life would be if she joined other clubs.
She's the superhero.
Are we going to get we're gonna get Blossom Ladybug.
Are we gonna get like a different animation style? Oh god,
yeah, we might. That's the Friday episode in the week long.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Okay. And there's a bunch of other good ones too. All right. So overlyanimated.com. Consider supporting us on patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to patrons Mitch Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, Jamie, Rachel, John, Ryan, Catherine, Taylor, Davon, Jade, John Phoenician, and Victoria. Okay, Fever, Mitch, Kronos, CB, Exchange, Nathan, Fillion, Buzz Lightyear, Man, Nitro, Shabba, Brian, Cookcat, Needle, Diamond, Day, Jewel, Garfield, TBD. Let us know your feedback from this. Comments on us podcasting on the show. Coming up on the podcast tomorrow, Delaney's Michelle Feedback SU show. Listen to our SU discussion from earlier tonight. Ladybug on Sunday. That was a fun podcast. And then Star back on Monday.
Woo!
Ooh. So yeah. also
We're
another
tired.
also in this category of low rated, but Star, we haven't been doing Star as long, so I'll give it a little bit more. But other last comments, Delaney.
Just let us know what y'all think. We love this show, but
Yeah. I mean, like, I watch Adventure Time, but we don't cover Adventure Time.
Exactly,
so,
yeah.
Like, it does. We don't have to cover it. I feel like it's a little bit silly that we cover this show but not Adventure Time. Like, we could do the same thing for Adventure Time like every other week. So I don't know. The show's more of a typical us show, I guess. But yeah.
True.
So anyway, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.